In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
That woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate.
At all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous.
Maher didn't just disagree with Sunny Hostin. He obliterated her argument and tore apart the entire woke side of Hollywood with the precision of a surgeon and the flair of a seasoned showman. His takedown was so sharp, so ruthless, that the entire studio froze in disbelief. What made it even more jaw-dropping was that these two are supposed to be on the same side, both leaning left politically. But Maher has clearly thrown away the woke rulebook and made sure Hostin got the message loud and clear, in front of millions. It was a spectacle of pure TV drama that had everyone glued to their screens, unable to look away for even a second.
In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Hostin thought she had the upper hand when she boldly called Maher a hypocrite, but she walked straight into a trap she didn't see coming. She tried to twist the story, painting him as someone tearing down a culture he supposedly stood for. But Maher wasn't having it. He saw right through her setup like crystal and refused to let her pull the woke mob's classic trick. Their favorite game of twisting words and trapping opponents completely backfired this time. Maher flipped the script, turned the tables, and left everyone stunned by his sharp precision and fearless delivery.
Any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left? Watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas? That straightened me up pretty quick.
Bill Maher showed up on The View to promote his new book, but what was meant to be a calm PR stop quickly exploded into a fiery, headline-worthy showdown. The man famous for his left-leaning humor shocked everyone by turning his sharp wit against his own political side, and the reaction was priceless. It didn't feel like a talk show anymore. It felt like a live roast, with the so-called woke crowd getting grilled right on camera. It all kicked off when Sunny Hostin tried to trap Maher by asking why he was weaponizing the word woke, a move that instantly blew up in her face.
It struck me that in the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
Hostin thought she was playing on another level, pretending to be a chess master while everyone else played checkers, when she suddenly threw the word hypocrite at Maher. She tried to frame him as someone attacking the very culture he once supported, but Maher wasn't fooled for a second. He saw through her trap like clear glass and refused to fall for the woke mob's tired old tricks. Their go-to strategy of twisting words to corner people failed spectacularly this time. Maher shattered it with confidence, wit, and precision, leaving the entire studio gasping in disbelief.
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want.
Okay.
Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know. Want to call it the super far left?
Bill Maher's first move was a stroke of genius. He dodged Hostin's setup with effortless calm, explaining that language constantly evolves and meanings change over time. What a word means today could flip completely tomorrow, he said, and his use of woke reflected the distorted meaning the far left had turned it into. Hostin expected him to stumble under her accusation of hypocrisy, but instead, she walked right into his plan. Maher flipped the entire exchange on its head, forcing her to taste her own trap, a masterful intellectual takedown that sent the audience into a frenzy of shock and admiration.
But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
Too dark, too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick.
Did you see that? Bill Maher, a lifelong liberal with deep progressive roots, openly admitted that he snapped back to reality when he saw the so-called woke crowd cheering for Hamas. Yes, Hamas, the same group infamous for declaring that Israel shouldn't even exist and must be erased from the map. Absolutely horrifying. Their twisted ideology has inspired violence and hate across borders, spreading like wildfire wherever it goes. And shockingly, these so-called woke warriors are applauding terrorists while condemning Israelis for simply existing. Maher couldn't believe the madness, and he wasn't afraid to say it loud and clear for the entire world to hear.
It's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values.
Maher hit the bullseye with brutal precision. He pointed out that most of the women on The View, including Hostin herself, would absolutely prefer living in Israel over Palestine. And deep down, they knew it. Israel protects freedoms that echo America's core values, while Palestine enforces harsh restrictions that crush women's basic rights. Maher didn't sugarcoat a single word. He exposed the glaring hypocrisy of the woke crowd with fearless honesty. They loudly criticize Israel, yet none of them would dare spend a day under Palestine's oppressive laws. The double standard was undeniable, and Maher ripped through it like lightning, leaving everyone stunned by the truth.
I mean, women have no, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ community as well.
Yes. That too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world where women are second-class citizens. At best.
Maher struck again, this time with a devastating blow that left the panel speechless. He called out the shocking gender inequality across many Muslim-majority nations, the very countries the so-called woke defenders love to romanticize without knowing the grim reality. With cutting precision, he basically told Hostin and her crew to take a trip and see firsthand how women are silenced, controlled, and punished for simply existing. It was a subtle yet crushing strike that shattered their moral high ground. Panicking, they tried to play the predictable innocent civilians card to regain control, but Maher didn't flinch for a second. His composure made the moment even more powerful.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women?
Of
and
course.
Are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Hostin quickly realized that Maher had just obliterated her earlier point, where she questioned how a self-proclaimed leftist could possibly reject woke culture. So, scrambling for control, she switched tactics and tried to imply that Maher supported violence against innocent civilians. Her timing was deliberate, right after his powerful rebuttal, to make him look heartless and cruel. It was a textbook woke move. When logic fails, attack someone's morality. But Maher was unshakable. He unleashed a calm yet devastating counter that demolished her accusation and exposed the entire manipulative playbook of the woke crowd right there on live TV.
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed?
Hostin suddenly realized that Maher had just burned her entire argument to ashes. Her claim that a true leftist couldn't possibly reject woke ideology had gone up in smoke. So, in a last-ditch effort to recover, she tried to label him as someone who condoned violence against the innocent. It was the same tired tactic. When reasoning collapses, they cling to moral outrage. But Maher was miles ahead. He spotted her setup instantly and struck back with a perfectly timed verbal counterattack that tore her argument apart. His response was razor-sharp, commanding, and brilliant. It left the room frozen in stunned silence.
This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can we do that with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that.
But are you
I assume the
concerned about
Israeli...
innocent lives?
Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And then it happened. A jaw-dropping truth bomb from Maher that sent shockwaves through the entire room. The crowd erupted in wild applause while Hostin sat frozen in defeat, her expression saying it all. She looked completely shaken, like someone who'd just been drenched in cold water during a storm, unable to hide the sting of embarrassment. Maher didn't just win the debate, he dismantled the entire woke ideology piece by piece, live on national television. Even the most skeptical panelists couldn't help but clap for his brilliance. Maher's calm delivery, his razor-sharp logic, and his flawless timing turned the moment into pure TV gold. And just when everyone thought he was done, Whoopi threw him a tough question about media manipulation, and Maher's next response was nothing short of legendary.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
And it's narrative over truth. You know,
Yes.
I mean, it's not like when I hear people talk on either side of it, I always think they're lying. They're just telling me half of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I never trust them anywhere until I check out the other half.
Yeah.
Once again, Bill Maher ripped straight into the core of the woke movement, mocking its so-called narrative of truth, which he exposed as nothing more than a shiny disguise for control. For the far-left elites, truth isn't their mission, it's their first victim. Their real agenda is forcing their version of reality on everyone else. No questions allowed. Facts get twisted, honesty gets buried, and anyone daring to disagree gets canceled on the spot. That's exactly why Maher refuses to march with their fake moral army. He declared that the woke movement is overflowing with hidden motives, destroying the very values that built America. His words electrified the studio. Conservatives nodded in approval while Hostin sat pale as a ghost, desperate to interrupt. But Maher stayed cool as ice, ready with another jaw-dropping comeback that left her speechless.
There's old school liberals, which I would mostly count myself as, old school conservatives. There's still some of those
You've
left.
changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Go ahead.
What are the other two?
Well, that's what I was trying to find out in this book. I don't think
Yeah.
I have. And, you know, we were saying in the break, we have to come up with a new word for woke. Let's have a contest, because this is a word that's triggering. But, I mean, those concepts that are different than they were 5 years ago.
Maher made it crystal clear. He's an old-school liberal who actually believes in real social justice, not the performative kind that traps people in endless struggle. He drew a sharp line between his authentic values and the twisted compassion of the woke crowd, who confuse kindness with enabling failure. To drive his message home, Maher painted a powerful picture. An old-school liberal, he said, would help homeless men find safety and rebuild their lives, not just leave them on the streets in the name of acceptance. Meanwhile, the woke mob demands everyone applaud the problem instead of fixing it, and if you dare to question their logic, they'll try to cancel you in seconds. Maher's words hit like thunder, because deep down, everyone watching knew he was absolutely right.
Homeless was a term that I thought we kind of came up with, because people were calling them bums and vagrants and hobos.
Yeah, now that's
homeless.
hard.
Now, no.
It's unhoused.
Well, it's
now.
people
Unhoused.
experiencing
Now it's unhoused.
homelessness. But they're experiencing it on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, the liberal view of that was, for compassion's sake, we're the liberals, we're compassionate. Let's get these people off the street.
Yeah.
That's not the view of the, whatever word we're going to come up with for this. Their view of the homeless is they're an endangered species that needs to be protected in their natural habitat. Living their best life under a bridge.
Maher's fearless attitude, razor-sharp wit, and scorching sarcasm on The View were nothing short of explosive. Viewers couldn't stop buzzing about how effortlessly he dismantled the woke mob and exposed every ounce of hypocrisy right on live TV. One fan even wrote, "I've never seen anyone destroy the woke narrative with such calm precision. It was iconic." Others joined in, blasting the double standards they'd just witnessed. One comment read, "Unbelievable. These women act like victims when the media's been cheering for them all along." Many also tore into Sunny Hostin for her sneaky manipulation. Sunny needs to quit twisting people's words, one viewer wrote, calling it classic gaslighting. Maher's appearance wasn't just a talk show moment. It was a cultural earthquake that left the woke side scrambling for cover. And the drama didn't stop there. He even took aim at President Biden, questioning whether his age was becoming a serious obstacle to leading the nation.
Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You know, you look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young. but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
That must
sorry,
have cut
he's
deep.
cadaver-like.
Being labeled unfit to lead the most powerful nation on earth is brutal enough, but being compared to a lifeless body while still breathing, that's next-level humiliation. Maher delivered the jab with chilling precision, linking it perfectly to the growing suspicion that President Biden isn't truly running the show, that he's more of a figurehead while hidden power players pull the strings behind the scenes. Maher's fiery appearance on The View didn't just ruffle a few feathers, it caused a full-blown media storm. His ruthless wit and fearless comebacks left Sunny Hostin looking utterly defeated, wishing she could vanish from the set. By the time Maher unleashed his final truth bomb, her arguments were reduced to ashes, and the woke narrative lay in ruins. The studio was stunned, the internet went wild, and one thing became clear: no one debates Bill Maher and walks away unscathed.